Welcome back, guys, to another time-lapse episode of the Factorio Let's Play. So yeah, we're time-lapsing again. I mean, it wasn't originally planned for today, to be fully honest with you, but I just had, honestly, just a few YouTube videos I had to watch that were pretty long, and I did have the time today to record some time-lapse episodes, so I recorded two, and in those two I played, I think, almost like 3.5 hours or something. Was really great. I got a lot of progress done. I mean, it felt like I was just driving in a train half the time, honestly, because I was kind of looking for stuff and always like forgetting stuff, and I drove down to the base like, I think it felt like 100 times. But eventually I got done, so that's something great at least. So so what I did is I built first the iron smelter, because we still had to do that. It wasn't a pretty big task. I mean, I was at that moment, I was really glad that I did that as a time-lapse episode already, because I thought, hey, maybe I'll just build like the iron smelter stuff as a normal episode, and then we can do the rest in the time-lapse episodes. But then I just thought like, nah, just like let's do everything in time-lapse. And it was a great decision, because as you can probably currently see, or maybe it's already over again, I kind of forgot to bring the cliff explosives with me, so yeah, and there was some cliffs in the way for the smelter. I mean, I would have probably just worked around those in a normal episode, but yeah, well, that was actually just the first time driving down, getting some cliff explosives, and then building the damn iron smelter, which then went pretty quickly. And then I turned to the real task, the real thing that I wanted to do, that's building like the coal and oil mining. So originally my plan was to just train in coal and oil to like the main part of the outpost, and then just make plastic there. But then I thought about that, and I realized that that's maybe just a bit of a stupid idea, and it would be just much easier to build kind of like a second outpost dedicated to plastic production. Because actually all you need for plastic is only like oil and coal, like the stuff that we would have trained in anyways. And so I decided to just build a complete package, basically. So the coal and oil spot that I wanted to use, there were like coal and oil directly next to each other anyway, so that wasn't a problem based on that as well. So yeah, that all went on pretty easy, actually. So then I started doing that, and I had to build like a bit of a train, a bit of a like, it wasn't too far, but still like quite a bit of rails that I had to lay down. Obviously didn't have enough rails for that, so I blueprinted everything down, went back down to the base, got new rails, and planted all of those down and stuff like that. And exactly, and then I just like built the entire outpost more or less. Then midway through, actually not midway through, pretty early on actually, I realized, I am missing some water here. But luckily there were like 2 lakes fairly nearby, so I just built like a tiny little railroad to get all of the stuff. Other than that, I went through and finished actually everything. Was pretty fast, considering, I mean, I had to go back to the base quite a few times, as you can probably see. But still, went on pretty fast. If I would have had all the required materials, then this would have been like 30 minutes maybe. Because I could like reuse quite a bit of stuff that I already built down at the base. You probably remember that I redid the entire oil setup down there, with nice beacons and everything. So I essentially just copied pretty much everything over. And yeah, that worked out quite nice. Exactly. So let's dive into like the real topic of today. And that's the big old question: when will I update to 0.17? And actually, I just fired up like my second downloaded 0.17 version, so I didn't update through Steam. I updated I just downloaded the game like extra, like the 0.17 experimental version. I just downloaded like that as an extra like game install from the Factorio website. And now I just took a look and just searched for like all the mods that I currently use. And honestly, everything is updated, like really pretty much everything, except the Power Armor Mark IV mod, which I haven't started using yet. But I would like to use that, so I'm still going to update pretty soon. Actually, the only thing holding us back currently is the fact that all of our science is messed up. But on the other hand, I'm not doing any research right now anyways, so I'm thinking, like, there are two possible points when we can update to 0.17. We can update right now. That would be like one thing. So, I mean, I have like still another episode as a timeless episode already recorded, and after that, which would be then episode 82, we could move then to 0.17. Or we could just finish up all the outpost work first, and essentially just finish the outpost and then move on to 0.17. I mean, the next couple things I want to do in game, I mean, finish the outpost obviously, and after that the plan is to redo all of our science anyways. So the big question is, do I want to research anything until like that switch happens? I mean, I honestly think we aren't even that far away from finishing the outpost at this point. I mean, we only have to lay down some assembly machines pretty much and get some, like a train station in there, a proper one, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, we aren't that far away. Let me think. You know what? I actually think, based on like the nice and new features, I will try and update to 0.17 for episode 82. Yeah. Let's just say that's now the plan. And I'm honestly quite excited about that because pretty much right now, out of my perspective at least, I recorded another little 0.17 video for the main channel, which is about like all the train changes, and just like having now today played at 0.16 and now like having like looked back at 0.17 again and did some things in there with trains and everything, like yeah, I'm really hyped for 0.17, let's just put it that way. Yeah, so I mean, just thinking about it, like it's such a nice update, because I mean, looking back at 0.16, I mean, what was new really in 0.16? 0.16 we got like the new graphics. I mean, after that the game just felt completely new because like everything looked really awesome suddenly, like all the terrain and most of the entities and everything was like updated to high res and everything. So yeah, like that gave like a nice visual update. I mean, sure, some like quality of life things probably that I can't really remember right now anymore, but other than that, it wasn't like too exciting. I mean, 0.15 we got like new science. I mean, we got like nuclear reactors, stuff like that, also kind of cool. But now 0.17, like so many quality of life things just in there. Actually quite happy with the entire version, and I'm also now actually happy with my choice of going to 0.17 here. really soon. Yeah, not a whole lot more to say about that topic. I mean, I knew that is a quick one anyway, so I'm not sure what else I should talk about right about now. Yeah, I mean, it's a timeless episode after all, so I guess we don't have to hit like 20 minutes right now. And maybe if I make this a little bit shorter, my chances are a bit higher that this video will actually go live at least at a day I wanted to go live, you know? Because right now it's Sunday at 7:30 p.m. and this video should go live tomorrow, so I still have to like quickly edit this, won't take long, and also like rendering and uploading and stuff. And yeah, rendering a timeless episode always takes longer because you have like more footage, obviously. So yeah, well, I guess we'll end it right here, and we'll see us again hopefully in the next timeless episode tomorrow. Until then, have a great time, guys. See you all then. Bye bye.